You got a moment?
You're not needed, sir. It's okay.
You got a moment, sir?
You're not needed. It's okay.
I need you to come listen to this time for me.
No, you're not needed. It's okay.
I'm talking. Thank you, sir. Hey, man. It's 3 o'clock.
So hey everybody, welcome. I'm Drew Hudson. I'm the Director of Environmental Action. I'm going to be really quick to introduce Dr. Bullard and let you know a couple of the rules. Just so you know, we are recording your conversation this morning, if that's all right with everybody. Yes, good, great. We recorded your conversation last Sunday too. If you are asking a question in a few minutes, please speak up a little bit, speak towards the front of the room so we can hear you up here where the recording stuff is. And otherwise, we're just really glad that everybody is here today and gets a chance to spend a couple minutes with mckibben, who's been such a great inspiration and leader in our movement. And talking about so we're really excited to have Bill here. When Anthony first told me about the idea of this delegation, one of the first thoughts I had was, wow, it's an incredibly good idea, first of all. And second of all, we've got to find a way to get all these people together in rooms with each other. So I know you guys have been doing tons of meetings and great work and negotiation all for the last 2 weeks. We're almost at the deadline now. And maybe Bill can tell us a little bit about what's been going on in the negotiations today. I really appreciate your work, and I'm so glad that you're here to be part of this and to be part of the whole process. Dr. Bullard is going to be
One thing I'd like to say is we're glad to have Bill speak to us and give us an update and to connect with us and take it away.
All right. I will just talk briefly, and I'm curious to know what y'all are thinking about. First of all, it's just to be in the same space. It's not really a room, but the same space as Dr. Bullard is a tremendous honor for those of us who are older. You know, we spent our whole lifetimes knowing about his work and following his work and thinking about what he's, the new dimensions that he's added to this work over the years. So Dr. Bullard, what a pleasure, as always, in your company. He also, as it turns out to be the great modern master of Twitter. 7,000 or 8,000 tweets a day, good education about all things that are important. And it's great to be with you all. When I saw that there was a big delegation from HBCUs coming, I was really happy because it's something that's been missing in the past. And I do tons of organizing all around campuses all over the world, all kinds. It's really good to get people over here now some of the time. Partly because we need you to come up to these guys and make some progress. Partly so that we can see what's going on, because it's not, for the most part, really all that good what goes on. I mean, here's how I think about what we're doing here in Paris. This isn't the game, this is the scoreboard. Okay? We spent the last 5 years organizing, marching, going to jail, sitting in, writing papers, blah, blah, blah. It's been really good and really important, and it's put some pressure on the system, and now we see how much pressure. It's like we've been playing poker for 5 years now, we break in a few chips, and then tomorrow we'll start the game again when this is over, okay? Because we're going to get an agreement out of here. We've got a big enough movement that they can't skip us completely like they did in Copenhagen, where we got nothing, okay? But the fossil fuel industry is still stronger than we are. So we're not going to get an agreement anything like we need. We saw that they're going to include maybe in the text a 1.5 degree target, which is good. A bunch of us did a sit-in yesterday over next to the plenary session, and we were all chanting 1.5, we might survive, okay? Led by our friends on the low-lying island nations, probably will disappear sometime in the next 40 years. But that 1.5 degree temperature target in the text isn't anything at all like what they're actually planning to do. If you add up all the promises they're actually making the plan to do, the temperature of the planet's going to go up 3.5 degrees Celsius, 6 or 7 degrees Fahrenheit. We're not going to be able to live in most of the places we live now. We're not going to be able to farm the way we farm. We're not going to be able to have civilization if the temperature goes up 6 or 7 degrees. So the thing that they're giving us is not very good, all right? Just good enough to encourage us to keep fighting going forward, because we figure now we see, as movements have always seen, that when you organize, you start to win, okay? Our problem is we're up against the most powerful opponent any movement's ever had to go up against, which is the fossil fuel industry. No kidding, the richest industry in the history of the world. Exxon has made more money each of the last 5 years than any company in the history of money. Okay? So I hope I'm not. I hope I'm not being too cynical. I hope I'm not turning you cynical too early if I say that sometimes in our world, money buys you somewhat more power than you otherwise deserve. Does that seem reasonable? Well, in this case, it's bought them the U.S. Congress, all right, and most other Congresses around the world. They own them. That's why we've done nothing. I wrote the first book about climate change. I wrote it before you guys were born, okay? We knew about the problem in the late 1980s. It turns out, as we've learned in the last 8 weeks, from a series of newspaper revelations, it wasn't just we knew about it. Exxon knew everything there was to know about it. They had great climate models. There are great scientists that were working for them, that were telling them how much the world was going to warm. They knew all about it. They knew about it so well that they used all that information to go bid on new oil leases up in the Arctic because they knew it was going to melt. Okay? But did they tell anybody? No. They spent tens of millions of dollars building this whole big architecture denial. They hired all the guys who used to work for the tobacco industry to come work for them, spreading the same kind of doubt about climate change. We should not be at COP21. We should have reached an agreement at COP 1 or 2 in 1995 or 1996 and gotten to work, you know. Instead, we're just now starting. If we ditch this week, it'll be the first international agreement of any kind, you know. Meanwhile, you know, we've waited an awful long time. In the last week, while we've been here, there's been flooding so bad in Chennai, in India, a city of 8 million people, that it was cut off from the rest of the world. Hundreds of people drowned. It was a lot like what happened in New Orleans, okay? Flooding so bad in the UK and the United Kingdom that whole towns were underwater. Flooding so bad in the Maldives and the Indian Ocean that people were washing away. Flooding so bad in Norway and Sweden that they broke 200-year-old records. The day before yesterday, Portland, Oregon, which is kind of a wet place to begin with, had the rainiest day in its history. Today, in western Washington state, it's so hot, record temperatures, that all the snow up in the Cascades is melting. There's a big rainstorm going on at the same time, and landslides are closing highways up and down the western side of Washington. This is what happens when a climate starts to get out of control. We've raised the temperature 1 degree so far, and this is the kind of thing that's happening. If we let it go up 1.5 degrees, 2 degrees, 2.5 degrees, can't even the door. I mean, it's just, you know, the scientists are clear that if we let that happen, you guys get to spend the prime of your careers dealing with not the stuff you're studying in school. You get to spend it dealing with emergency response, okay? That's what you're going to need. So our job is to get this off as fast as we can. We can't stop global warming. That's no longer one of the possibilities. Maybe if we started 25 years ago, we could have. We didn't. We can maybe keep it from getting utterly out of control, but that's going to take a hell of a lot more organizing than we've put in already. We just had a press conference over in the Blue Zone a few minutes ago to announce big plans around the world for the for the spring. And the announcement came when it was made by our colleague Liddy Knockhill from the Philippines, Kumi Naidu from South Africa, Nemo Basse from Africa, a fellow whose name I can't pronounce from Turkey, all the kind of global colleagues, because this is a big global movement, okay? The best parts of the movement are fully globalized, fully connected, everybody working together. What we're going to do in May in every country in the world is find the biggest carbon deposits, the huge coal mines, oil fields, whatever. We'll be doing civil disobedience in a lot of those places. I think what we're going to be doing in the States, so it's a little less clear for sure, but I think what we're going to be doing is going after Exxon as hard as we can, okay? Exxon has conveniently placed 11,000 good locations for having demonstrations all across America. You've seen them. They have the large Exxon Mobil sign outside, and they sell you gasoline, okay? I went up to the one near my home in Vermont a couple of 6 weeks or so ago, and I just took a sign that says this station is temporarily closed because Exxon lied, and I sat there for 20 minutes. I gave the guy who ran the store $100 because it wasn't his fault. You know, I didn't want to his trade for the day. But I just sat there until the police come and haul me away. All right, and it was good. It did what it was supposed to do. It got some of the message out. For a while that afternoon, it was the top trending story on Facebook until it was replaced by a video of a corgi dog barking at a miniature puppet. For a moment, it did the right thing. Okay. We're going to need a ton of that kind of stuff, all right? It's stupid that we have to go to jail in order to deal with this stuff. In a rational world, we would not have to do any of this stuff. It makes no sense, okay? But we do because there is too much power on the other side. Now, one of the good things that's happening is that this movement is increasingly managing to make common cause with lots of other movements at the same time. So we just did the night before last, we're beginning to run together in my mind. Okay? We did a big event with the people who are my favorite partners, have been for the last couple of years in this whole fight, which are the guys with the Hip Hop Caucus. Lennox Yearwood has become my just closest confidant and colleague in his work. And they've really started environmental understanding how things are linked. So we were in New Orleans with Lennox marching on the 10th anniversary of Katrina, and that was a great day, and we had that powerful panel that morning and things. But the next day, this tour was in Ferguson, okay? And it was talking about police violence, and it was talking about divestment from fossil fuels, because power rests in a very narrow set of hands in our country. You guys have heard of the Koch brothers, yeah? Okay, taken together, the two of them are the richest man in the world, all right? They're worth $100 billion. They made their money in oil and gas. They're going to spend $900 million on this election. And that's more than the Republicans or the Democrats spent on last time's election. Okay? Koch brothers, party of two. All right? When they win, if they win, they're going to make sure nothing happens about climate. But they're also going to make sure that every other bad thing that they can think of happens. Unions are busted. Education is wrecked, that every other thing we need for social progress gets taken down. As these movements come together, there are real opportunities to find them. And that's a good thing. People used to say, okay, that environmentalism was something that rich white people did. And if you didn't know where your next meal was coming from, you were environmental. People like Dr. Paul or Dr. Wright that began to make clear that that wasn't true. For me, the real revelatory moment that when we started 350.org 8 years ago, myself and 7 college students, okay? And our first thing we did was organize this global day of action all over the world. We just asked people all over the world to do something. And we didn't know how well it would work, okay? But it turned out it worked well, because there were lots of people, mostly young people, who wanted to do something. And we had 5,200 demonstrations in 181 countries on the same day. And the pictures from those things were coming in 30 and 40 a minute for a while. And so I was just sitting there transfixed, watching these pictures come up. In fact, I started projecting them up on one of those big screens at the end of Times Square that usually have vodka ads that we were showing these pictures as they were coming in. The thing that really struck me after watching it for about 10 minutes was like that thing about how rich white people, almost everybody that we were working with around the world was poor, black, brown, Asian, young. Because that's what the world actually consists of, okay? And what do you know, everybody is exactly as worried about the future as anybody else. In fact, maybe more so, because the people in the poorest parts of the world, the future is crashing down hard on your head right now. I mean, not some future threat, not something that's going to happen 10 years from now, or happen to your children, or happen to your grandchildren. It's something that happened last week. We did this mock trial with Exxon over the weekend up in the middle of Paris. It was great. We can watch the footage, some of the footage now. But the first person to testify was a friend of mine from the Marshall Islands, a young woman named Kathy. Yay tall, but very strong woman. And I was acting as the kind of prosecuting attorney trying to get her story out, because we were trying to convict Exxon, as it were. The Marshall Islands, the highest part of the country, is a meter above sea level. This far above sea level. Every person she knows, every person she loves, every relative she has is a meter above sea level. Okay? Which is going to be, on current trends, underwater in 50 years, and already is under the water some of the time. I said, tell this woman about that. She said, well, last spring we had an especially big tide, and it washed right through. My mother woke me up in the middle of the night and said, you got to get up. She said, what? And right at that moment, a big tide washed through and it carried away. One of the things it took away was my diary, that I've kept for all these years, just disappeared right out the door. And she was just remembering it. And then she said, the other thing it washed away was a lot of the graves of our ancestors who were buried there, little atolls, not much wider than they've been there for thousands of years, but now they're not there anymore. Think about that. Think about the fact that people have lived someplace for 5,000 or 10,000 years, and then they couldn't live there anymore because companies like Exxon literally flat out, straight up, just told lies, kept us from doing stuff. If I get a little over-emotional about all of this, I apologize. But it's hard when you now know as many people as I know around the world who have to deal with this stuff. So I guess all I'm trying to say is thank you so much for being a part of this. Absolutely essential to it. And the thing to realize is it begins to seem discouraging, and sometimes it seems discouraging to me. I just remind myself, I look at some of those endless pictures in our Flickr account, and remind myself that we have brothers and sisters the world over who are engaged in this fight, and engaged in it in all kinds of ways. And we're getting better and better and better at it. Look at someone like Anthony, look at the work they're doing, they're able to start moving things. We're not going to win everything. We're going to lose some bad things this week. Exxon's going to win, I'm afraid, a fight tomorrow. But we took one off them 3 weeks ago. We won this fight over the Keystone Pipeline that had been absorbing us troublesome youth for year upon year. So we're ready to do some winning of our own as well. In fact, I think that we're going to win more and more fights. The thing I can't guarantee you is that we might have waited too long to get started. And I curse myself sometimes for that. Catching up with the physics of climate change is going to be hard. But maybe we still have some room to keep it utterly out of control. We'll see, but it's going to depend on all of us working harder than we worked even before all this. I look forward to doing it shoulder to shoulder with y'all and start checking out where the Exxon stations in your local neighborhood are located. That's what I would say. I'm really eager to hear what you guys are thinking about, what you're working on, what you guys are doing here, and your kind of impressions from this week out here.
So I'm a graduate of the university. These last 2 weeks we spent a lot of time developing solutions that we take back to our neighborhoods and mechanisms to implement them. So we coordinated with the NAACP, touching individuals from around the world to develop a blueprint that spreads awareness and that really connects the dots to our community. Climate change and our everyday issues. So, for example, food deserts and our access to water. Directly linked to climate change. I think this has been a great experience for us all to develop these skills to navigate these places, right? So some of us have been able to go into the blue zone and been able to witness some of the malarkey, right? Some of the good things that have been going on, right? So I think that's pretty much the gist of what's going on. We had an opportunity today to debrief by the State Department. And I believe that's it. I've done a lot of interviews.
So important that work on figuring out how to connect this stuff up at home. I think the sleeper issue for the next 4 or 5 years, one of the key words in our vocabulary is going to be asthma, over and over again, because all of a sudden we start seeing it in poor communities in the U.S. and in urban communities. But now everybody around the world is seeing it. I don't know whether people saw the pictures from Beijing yesterday. Beijing closed schools yesterday. The biggest city in the world, nobody went to school. Not because it was snowing, not because the air was too dirty. You know what makes that really sad? The particulate matter in Beijing yesterday was 235 parts per million. In New Delhi, it was 400 parts per million. But they kept going to school, okay? Because it hasn't yet reached that level of consciousness there. But it's going to. And this is a worldwide, climate change can be a little hard to see sometimes, but the other stuff that comes from fossil fuels is right in your face all the time. It's so key. Glad you're doing that. Thank you.
So since I've been new to them, so basically the first thing I want to say is that I thought initially that us working on climate change, I thought personally that this was something way above my head. It was something, how could I help to change what all the things that have been done in the past? But I've learned through COP21 that there's so much of us working on this issue, so much of us care about this issue. And that's an important thing, that the message that we should bring home as well. Because I didn't think it was I could make any change,
I think it's such an important point. I think the biggest problem in getting people to work on climate change go on hasn't been that they don't care about it. It's been that it seems so big and it seems so small in comparison that it's like, okay, give me some other problem that I might be able to work on. So for a long time, environmentalists mostly just said, here's a bunch of individual solutions, change your light bulb, whatever. Those are good, those are important. I changed all my light bulbs. I got solar panels coming off my ears. Every possible place, all right? But I don't fool myself that that's how we solve global warming. It's a structural, systemic problem. It's rooted in how power is distributed. So, the only way for individuals really to solve it is not to be individuals so much.
numbers.
Join. Movement. Exactly right. And it's been a useful 2 weeks. You guys figured that out, then you're way ahead. It took me many years to figure that out.
So my question was going to be, probably, I'm from Jamaica, and the people in America are way more aware of the issue at hand. They're way more aware, and I want to know how we could expand it to countries like mine, where people, as I said before, people are worry about other people.
That's why we started building out these global ways of action things. Everybody can start. And parts of the Caribbean have enormous participation. You got to take it back to the thing. We'll look you up with people that are already there, and with others around the country. In May, we're doing one of these big global ways of action, and there should be something, in Kingston, that would everybody can see. That would be just perfect. That would be great.
Thank you very much. Thank you for paving the way as well.
I understand that you have a student diabetes.
Yes.
Pretty big job. I'm just trying to understand. I know that there are a lot of people there, a lot of PWI. But is there any way that the HBCUs can get involved with the student diabetes?
Absolutely. Some of them already are. There's campaigns at Howard and some other places that we started. The investment thing is so simple. Any place where there's a pile of money, an endowment, a portfolio, every college, no matter how small, has some kind of endowment someplace, money set aside. Okay? It's invested in stocks. All we said is don't invest it in stock companies that are backing your plan. And more and more now people are joining in. So lots of colleges have begun to divest. Stanford, Oxford, Syracuse, Georgetown, and lots of other things. The World Council of Churches, United Church of Christ. Not everybody, I'm a Methodist. We're still fighting to get the Methodists to divest. Big, big companies start to divest, things like that. So you just got to sit with the board of trustees, show them the data, which among other things shows that they make more money if they don't invest. And then you got to try and do some more. And if they don't, well, then you have to sometimes be a little more persuasive. At MIT right now, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, the students are in day 57 of the sitting. I was having a president talk about to get them to divest. It's a hard case because the Cook brothers are on the board of trustees at MIT. Count yourself lucky if the Cook brothers aren't on the board of trustees.
So the issue is that of course Exxon is incorporated, they donate money to different corporations and institutions, but the problem is that if we're divesting, we have to find a way to replace those funds as well. So would you think, do you know of any major energy efficient companies?
Absolutely. There's a whole new reinvestment model. One of the places to invest money is right back into the school in terms of making it more energy. They're finding that most universities can take $1 million and put it in things like new light bulbs and new ventilation systems. The return on investment in energy savings is about 15 to 20% a year. You're making more money than you ever made in the last 2 years. It's a little thinking about because the trustees are used to thinking about one of those things as an investment and the other as a capital expenditure, and they got to kind of just do a little rethinking in their mind. But it's possible, and we'll look at it all the time and look at it.
One of the things you also have to take into consideration is that some of these major schools that have divested from properties, they have like $1 million endowments.
The more money you have, the harder it is to do anything. Believe me, the more money you get, the more conservative you get. Rich people, in my experience, are the hardest people on earth to do anything.
They got more oil, man.
I would tell no matter what it is, if you want to borrow $5 from someone, find someone who has $50, not someone who has $50 million. The $50 million person is not interested in having $5. There's tons of work to be done here, and we'll help you all the way to the end. Email me. I'm Bill mckibben at email, and I get my email every day, and I'm happy to help connect people up with whoever doing what.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Very good.
Hi, Yes, so I did study right on campus. So I was part of we were all part of the Christmas Signing March, and yes, last year. And so we wanted to know how do we actually say our message. I think one thing that I recognize actually sometimes we take some universal already, how do we actually give them
So you're starting coming together. Combination is always the first part of the movement, right? Critical mass, and you guys got a critical mass. So as you take, before I leave, I want to get a picture of you all so I can, start sending things out. I've actually getting sent some stuff, so I've been tweeting it out, and I have now, somehow I got to have 170,000 followers on Twitter, so I feel like that's like my most useful thing I do all day is tweet sometimes. But that's if you find a message, if you can agree on a powerful message to get out, whatever it is, around investing, around whatever, it will spread and we will help you do that. Because you guys have an important voice. HBCU is such an important part of American history, American tradition, and such an inspiration to so many other parts of the world. There's an entire country that thinks about HBCUs, other people think about the Ivy League. Those are the places where Howard, Texas Southern, everywhere else are just, known and understood. So this is really important message that we have, and we will spread it.
Thank you so much for being here. We're going to come around and take a group shot with Bill. And I just want to say one more thing. You heard what Bill was saying about HBCUs, and I think that is a complete rebuke of what Justice Scalia said just the other day about HBCUs being slow tax schools. HBCUs are not slow tax schools. And I just remind Justice Scalia that it was a Yale graduate that took slow to respond to Hurricane Katrina. So,
Thank you.
yeah, I think so.
I'm talking about the female
Get on the ground, that's our place. Hey, sir. Oh, that's what you say, you're mine. You're fine. What about fine?
We're gonna take a couple, so hang on.
Do you need spare fingers, Mom?
We could. There you go. What should we all say? We want to hear HBCU. Sounds to me. 1, 2, 3. HBCU. All right. You get them all? Yeah. All right. There's no done for right there.
HBCU. Thanks, everybody. Just finishing our luncheon time conversation with Bill McKibben, HBCU students. I'm Drew Hudson, the director here at Environmental Action. And one last thing before you go, right above this window, there's a little link where you can chip in to support this kind of work. We're able to sponsor a couple of the HBCU students to come over, but we'd love to chip in more. And if you're able to donate today to support this kind of work, we'll be able to do that. So if you thought this was an important conversation, you want to see more HBCU students here in Paris and at conversations like this, then donate right above and we'll help make it happen. Thanks again from everybody at Environmental Action. I'm Drew Hudson. Hey there. You remember how that works.